Okay, here we are. We're here in central London. I've got the pleasure of the company of the wonderful Scott Gorham from Black Star Riders.
Hello there.
Hi Scott, how are you?
Good.
Now, last year you brought your new album out, All Hell Breaks Loose. It's been getting great critical acclaim from everywhere actually. And later this year, actually, only a few weeks away, you're playing the Legends of Rock Festival in Great Yarmouth.
Right.
Something you're looking forward to?
Yeah, we look forward to all the gigs. But this one is a little poignant because it will be our last show of the year. It's been a really heavy year of touring.
I imagine it'll be the last show you're doing in support of this album.
You're absolutely right. It'll be the last time. Well, it won't be the last time we're playing the songs, obviously, but yeah, it'll be the last time. It'll be just all hell breaks loose, because we are in recording. When is it? I leave Sunday for Nashville to start recording the second album. So it's been asked of me, are we going to play any new songs in Great Yarmouth, right? That is to be decided at this point. I'm not really sure how we're going to handle that one. Or maybe we'll just leave it until
It's a good opportunity to try them out though.
Well, that's the idea. Let's throw this one out. Let's see what kind of audience reaction we get out of it. But then that could backfire on you. People are going to go, what the hell song is that? I don't recognize that, so you never know. We might throw it in, or we might just...
And we can see some of the bands who are playing there along with you, and on the banner behind you. There's like Steve Hardy and the Cockney Rebel, there's Alabama 3, Choir Boys, Snake Charmer, Tigers of Pang Tang, John Roth, Food 6. I could go on, there's a long list of names there.
Apparently there's 45 bands. That's a lot of bands. That's a lot of bang for your buck.
And is any of those bands you played with before in the past, shared the bills with?
No, I haven't played with any of them yet. Although you mentioned Steve Harley. I used to know Steve, back 70s and 80s, great guy. It'll be a good time to actually catch up with him to see what the heck he's been doing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's quite rare.
Is it still Cockney Rebel?
Yes, it's still billed as a Cockney Rebel.
Killer.
And quite unique for Black Star Riders in many ways, because it's actually the second festival this year you've actually headlined in the UK. Because you did a Stillhouse Festival in Wales.
That's right.
Just a few weeks back. So.
Are you saying we're getting greedy?
Oh, maybe. Well, that's quite an honour to Black Star Riders.
What are you trying to say there, pal? Yeah, it is the second one, which is pretty cool. I mean, a new band. Already got 2 headline shows under the belt, so hopefully that trend continues. And we keep, headlining a lot of different things. So, yeah, it'll be good.
And obviously, this festival is a bit different to your normal outdoor festivals, because obviously this is indoors. It's at an old holiday park. And all the fans be staying in their little caravanettes and obviously be very drunk. It's a bit similar to like Hard Rock Hell in some ways, where you played before.
Right. Yeah.
So
which was great to play out.
Yeah. Now, obviously, what was that experience like for you? Just like playing an indoor festival compared to an outdoor festival.
Well, the big difference is the control that you have on the big outdoor festivals. Sound-wise, you kind of lose a little bit of the control there. Where inside, because of the 4 walls, you have a lot better chance of containing the sounds, and the sound will be that much better. So. I'm looking forward to doing the indoor festival. That actually sounds quite fun.
You don't get windswept in the indoor festivals. You don't get windswept.
No, that's right.
And obviously, in your entire career with Thin Lizzy and Black Star Riders, you must have played thousands of festivals over the years. So any ones that really stick in your memory?
Well, there was one year, and I can't remember the year, but it seemed like every show was in a baseball or football stadium. Just these mammoth places that you're playing, and you're feeling like you're about that tall, So, each one of those is a standout. When you look out from the stage and you just see 100,000 people out there every night, it's a pretty incredible feeling. The steps of the Opera House.
Yep, Sydney, yeah.
In Sydney there, they were expecting, I think, 5,000 people to show up, and 60,000 showed up. And the city mayor just totally freaked out. And apparently after that he banned all concerts for forever. But after a while he loosened up and he let other bands come in, but they had to have an actual cap on the audiences at that point. And you can kind of understand it. I mean, it's their Taj Mahal. Yeah. You know, it's such an iconic building. They don't want any damage done to it.
That's right. And you just mentioned you got album number 2. You're going to be recording it very soon. And originally you're going to get Joe Elliott from Def Leppard to record it in Dublin, but now it's all changed. You're going to Nashville. So who's producing the album now?
Nick Raskolantropinich.
And that's why I got you to say it, not me.
And I didn't even say it right. No, Nick is a great guy. We met him when we did a show in Nashville. He came down to see us and stayed for the whole show. Fell in love with the band, the you know, our sound, the whole deal. And Jimmy had played a track from Alice in Chains for me, just so I could see what the production was like. Literally within 6 bars, I went, "That's our guy. This is the guy we want." You know, so. Thankfully, he fell in love with the band. He jumped straight on board. We're doing it at his studio, just outside Nashville. And the kind of cool thing, the last album we got, it was 12 songs in 12 days. Woohoo! We actually get 3 weeks on this one, right?
And obviously, you just mentioned he's worked with Alice in Chains, also Foo Fighters, Rush, Mastodon. So they're quite sort of different kind of sounding bands to like your temporary classic rock bands. So is there a danger of him sort of changing the sound of Black Star Riders, or is that intentional?
Well, you know, we've got the the one album, and that came out sounding the way it sounded. Right now I'm not thinking that we have any sort of particular studio sound at this point. We're that kind of band that at the end of the day, what you record is what you record, and that's how it's sounding. I think we're all going to have a say in how the direction that we're going to be going into. Not only musically but sound wise and all that also. So it'll be an experiment, and I'm sure that Nick is going to have his big say in what he wants to hear and what he wants to get out of us. So. It'll be a team effort in a big way.
So obviously the producer is always like the 6th member.
Yeah, and he should be. Yeah. That's what he's there for, to cut the fat away. Let you know that you're doing a good job, or you're not doing a good enough job, or whatever. He's got to get tough in there every once in a while.
And how do Black Star Riders work when you go in the studio? Do you have the songs already written, or just ideas and then go from there?
Well, on this one they had to be written. All Hell Breaks Loose, because we had such a short amount of time in the studio. They had to be written. I think there was probably maybe 3 arrangement changes that came down the pipe on that, but very little was actually written in the studio for that one. This one here, we're gonna fly to Nashville, have a week's rehearsal to glue all the different bits together and try different things out. And within the 3-week period of recording, that affords us a lot of time to mess with different guitar sounds and little different arrangements and all that. So that's kind of the big difference I see in the 2 albums.
And obviously with this album, there's been slight changes in the lineup. Like Marco's gone, and you've got Jimmy DeGrasso on drums now. Robbie Crane's taken Marco's place. So what's the chemistry in the band like? Is it still solid?
Great.
Good.
It's great. I mean, Robbie just fitted in like you wouldn't believe. He's got a big, huge bass sound, and personality-wise, he just fit right in with everybody's sense of humor and all that. It's like we didn't lose anybody, Although, I was sad to see Marco go. I've been playing with Marco for 20 years.
Of course, a long time, yeah.
But he had to fly. He had to go off and do a couple other things that he'd been really wanting to do. So, but when Robbie came in, there was kind of a lift that happened. I can't really describe it, but the band actually lifted, so that's what you want. And
you just mentioned sense of humour, and obviously I think that's always important in an ethics of any band. But obviously you all come from all different parts of the world and different backgrounds, so what kind of humour is there in the band?
Well, there is a road humour, definitely. And everybody's been doing this long enough, so we all get the road humour. It's like in the rhythm section, Jimmy and Robbie. I mean, those 2 guys just never stop. It's like shut up. But they got funny routines going on, so they keep you entertained the whole time. They're good guys.
And is it a band? Are you the leader of the band? Is there a specific leader?
No, and when it comes to the Lizzy thing, But with the Black Star Riders, it's kind of everybody has an equal say. Absolutely.
Good.
Which I think is the best way to go with this. People have certain things they want to get across in this band. People want to play a certain way, write a certain thing, sing a certain way. So everybody's got to give everybody enough rope to be able to do all these things that everybody wants to do in it. So no is not in our vocabulary.
Good. And has it surprised you how Black Star Riders have been accepted? Because obviously there's a big hoo-ha about the name, and you had the internet trolls from the older fans mainly, saying blah, 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 blah. But you've done it, you changed the name, and you have been accepted. Have you noticed like a difference in the fan base coming to your shows?
Well, there's more girls. Don't ask me why.
I suppose it beats sort of 50-year-old green men coming in. Well, they still come too.
Absolutely. No, we have a great cross-section of fans in this band, which is really gratifying to see. You've got, the older Lizzy fans. Obviously, they want to hear some of the Lizzy songs and all that, but they want to hear the new things also. They've all got a copy of All Hell Breaks Loose while wearing the Thin Lizzy T-shirt, right? So
that's very true.
So we know that we're connecting with all those people, right? The other main thing we're seeing is that all the young faces out there. They want to. The young guys, man, want to see the bands do it.
Because the young fans, you are a totally new band, and Thin Lizzy's like something they read about in history books for the younger fans. So it's very important.
Thin Lizzy wasn't their band, or BSR is their band. So that's one way to look at it.
Does it make you feel younger yourself?
No.
And I know in the set list, you've sort of been splitting it 50-50. With Black Star Riders, you've been sort of throwing in Jailbreak, Massacre, Cowboy Song, Boys Are Back in Town. Is there any sort of songs from the Thin Lizzy back catalogue that you'd secretly love to sneak into the set?
Well, there might be a couple, but the problem with that is even the Lizzy fans probably wouldn't know what those songs are. I mean, they're so deep into the catalogue. So
what are your personal favourites? Like you say, the ones deep in the catalogue. What ones?
Well, I wouldn't mind trying out King's Vengeance from the Fighting album.
Yeah.
Right? I actually redid that on a 21 Guns album. I thought it came out really well, But we'd start that off, and people would be looking around, going, "What the hell is that? What band did that song?" So you've got to be a little bit careful with your choice of the older materials, because you don't want to actually lose anybody just because you want to play the song.
Obviously, once the album's out, and I hope you get it all done. Nice and finished, ready for the tour next March, because you're touring with Europe.
Yes, we are.
And that's like a mouth-watering line-up kind of thing. And obviously Europe are big Thin Lizzy fans themselves.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Joey and the boys, they really are a great band. They've got great musicianship going on. Their last album, they were writing amazing songs for their album. I mean, it's top quality stuff, right? So it's a co-headline tour. We all think that, fan-wise, I think it's going to be pretty close to, a Europe fan. I think going to like BSR.
Well, I think if people who bought the last Europe album, I've got the last Black Star Riders album, and vice versa.
There you go. So I don't think we're too far off the mark here in packaging, this whole thing up. So I know there's probably going to be a couple of people going, "What the hell are they doing? What's all this about? Forget about it." But I think it's gonna work.
Great. And keeping on the Black Star Riders topic for a second, and like with Thin Lizzy, you played some great guitarists like Brian Robertson, Gary Moore, Snowy White.
Who?
Exactly. John Sykes. And obviously there's always little cracks in the wall with the personalities on stage and whatever. But obviously with Damon Johnson, there seems to be like a good working chemistry there,
It's perfect.
What's the difference between working with Damon and working with the previous guys?
Well, I mean, all those guys were great players. They really were. And they were all there because they were supposed to be there. Phil and I wanted these different guys in there because of what they could bring to the party. And each guy brought quite a bit, every time, right? With Damon, it's just another ball game altogether, right? He is such a talented guy, and he's such a cool guy at the same time. There's a lot of give in Damon Johnson. He's not a greedy kind of person at all, and that it brings out a lot of in myself also. You know, there's no sort of bickering going on, or who's going to do what. No, I want to do that. No, you know, there's none of that. I mean, we've been together now for, like, I guess, 3 years. And I don't think I've ever heard anybody raise a voice on any subject in that band. There's just kind of no reason to. So, Damon Johnson, he's kind of like a cut above. You know, I love playing with that guy. I love that guy to death, right? And hopefully we're going to keep going for as long as we possibly can.
I hope so too. And funny enough, I interviewed Damon last year, and I was sort of taken aback by how knowledgeable and what a big fan he was of Thin Lizzy. You know, I'm sure he knows more about the band than you do.
He does. He absolutely does. He'll come up with guitar riffs that we had written way back that I'd totally forgotten about, and he's got it down. Going, yeah, remember that? And I'll go, right. How did I do that again?
And I just talk about Phil Lynott briefly, because it's hard to talk to you without mentioning his name. And last week he would have celebrated his 65th birthday had he been alive.
Right.
And considering the world we live in today, what sort of first subjects would Phil Lynott be writing about now if he was still around?
Boy, that's the hypothetical of hypotheticals there. I have no idea. He was such a, you know, a diverse kind of songwriter. You know, he might be writing stuff about the Middle East.
Exactly.
I don't know if he would have been the green guy, you know, maybe, but I can't see Phil being the green guy.
No saving the well lyrics.
But he was the kind of guy that he could kind of write about any subject and make you understand it. I know there's so many songwriters that just slam down a bunch of words, and you get to the end and you go, what the hell that guy, what was he singing about? I don't get that, you know, where Phil actually had this way he could tell the story, and in 4 minutes you got what he was talking about, along with a really great melody line at the same time, which is a tough thing to do, you know. So, and he did this time and time and time again. So that's why Phil was who he was, because he could do that.
And do you feel you still be playing together?
I would hope so. You know, geez, by this point we would have been like, you know,
well, so it'd be 6 o'clock.
What's the name of the movie where the two old guys are always arguing with each other?
Well, the guy from
The Odd Couple. There you go.
And do you ever feel his presence when you're on stage? Do you ever feel like he's there sometimes? Do you ever get those,
you know, in the beginning, probably, but you know, not so much now.
Yeah.
He's been dead for 25 years now, and each time I play a Lizzy song, I mean, people think that I'm supposed to get all teary-eyed and messed up and all that. You know, I've just played these songs too many times, and just too many years have gone by. But you know, that's not to say that I don't think about them. You know, if it wasn't for Phil, you and I wouldn't be sitting here talking.
Of course not. No, not at all. No.
That's just fact. You know? So there's so many of us that owe so much to that one guy. You know, that there's no way you can forget Phil Lynott.
And at Beginners Festival, Beginners interview, we're talking about festivals, and obviously your career with Thin Lizzy and Phil Lynott, it sort of ended, like the last UK gig you did was Reading 83, and the very last one was in Nuremberg, Germany, Monsters of Rock.
That's right.
And obviously at the time, I know you was going for the motions and that's it, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But what was that feeling like when you walked off the stage with Phil the last time?
Well, it was kind of a funny situation because all the other bands in Nuremberg, like I say, they knew it was our last show. We were done, right? And Phil and I, we were kind of messed up at that point, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it was strange for me to look around, because I'm looking around and everybody's crying, you know, the big tough roadies, they're breaking down in tears and the whole thing. Other guys in bands and got this agonized look on their face. And I'm up there going, Jesus, man, it's only Jailbreak, man. We got to get this thing going here. I want to get off the stage, right? It was really kind of that bad, right? And at the airport, I always had in my mind that at the end of the band, we were going to have a big party, balloons, confetti, and the whole thing. It was really, everybody just picked up their bags off the turnstile and said, well, see you later, and just walked out. It was that dry, right? Which was a shame, but kind of a lousy way to end things, right? But I don't think when a band breaks up you have confetti and balloons anyway, do you?
No.
It doesn't work out like that. So it was probably the right way to go.
And did your emotions change like 2 years down the line?
No. No, because the situation had gotten a little worse for both Phil and I, right? So it took a fair few years for yourself, to get a little bit more centered, and we're able to think about the possibility of even getting back up there with each other and playing. But he last time I saw him, he did mention that we need to start writing songs again. We need to put the band back together again, and. By this point, I was okay, and he was still not, and he knew that. But
did you know that?
Huh?
Did you know that he wasn't well enough?
Oh yeah, you could see it.
Yeah.
I mean, all you had to do is look, But he was making noises like, "Yeah, I'm going to clean myself up. It's going to be great. I'll get healthy again, and we'll go out there and we'll do this." And the way he had said it, with the the real conviction, I actually believed that he was going to do it. But unfortunately, at that point, it had just gone too far. Even if he would have stopped that day, he still wouldn't have made it.
And moving on with the Thin Lizzy history, like I think it was last year or 2 years ago, you worked with Joe Elliott on the reissues.
Yes.
And what did that bring back to you? Working for all them again, you changed a few guitar licks here and there.
Yeah, I did, because there was. A couple of guitar things and drum things that in the mix got kind of buried because they were played so badly.
And they did need touching up really, because they didn't really sort of convert to CD that well, so they did need to be sort of remastered a little bit.
Sorry?
Like from the original vinyl, like the original CD reissues weren't as good as last year's reissues, so didn't need remastering.
Oh yeah, well that was just a remastering thing. Universal, they remastered the whole catalog, which I thought was a great idea, because it still had the old mastering on there, right? So I think it brought a much better quality.
Yeah, definitely.
To the old albums, Yeah.
Is there anything else left in the can?
There is, but I think some of that is being saved for the box set. There's some things on that box set that are great, and there's other things I'm going, no, you can't put that.
It's been the fault for a reason.
please, every time you hear it, you're kind of shaking in the fetal position, going, oh God, they're going to hear this.
And what about live material? Was any other live material out there?
There's tons of live stuff in the vault.
Yeah.
Right. One of them we already put out. It was the live show in Philadelphia.
Yep.
Which I thought came out, really well. Myself and Glenn Johns, the producer, we mixed that, and I thought it came out really well. It kind of showed people. There were people saying, "How many overdubs did you do on Live and Dangerous?" Yeah, okay, there was a couple, right? But that's all it was a couple. But if you go and listen to the Philadelphia, which is virtually kind of the same set, you'll see that and there were absolutely no overdubs in that one. Right? You can see what kind of band we were, that we didn't need to, as some people would say, over 50% is overdubbed. Oh, bollocks.
And, just change the subject completely here, and on BBC Radio.
No, I want to talk about this more. I'm angry now.
I will do once the interview's finished. I'll find out what's in the thoughts. Just change the subject slightly. BBC Radio 2 yesterday did like a countdown of the 100 greatest guitar riffs, and it's run by Led Zeppelin. A whole lot of laughing, there's a lot of predictability in there. But
did we get in?
I'm not too sure actually. I've not looked at the whole entire list, but I'm sure Boys Are Back in Town was way up there.
You would have thought, damn.
But if someone asked you this question, which I'm about to you, which is the greatest guitar riff ever? The greatest guitar riff ever. If you had to make a choice yourself, what would be your choice?
Wow. There's too many. Wow, that's cheating. There's too many really great guitar riffs.
You can mention a few.
Well, there's a whole bunch that Led Zeppelin came up with. Jimmy Page, right? Clapton with Cream. He came up with a ton of them himself. Jimi Hendrix, for God's sakes, man. All Along the Watchtower, Voodoo Child. Jeez, I mean, there's like a million. I don't even know how you could say that's your favorite riff. There's just too many out there, and you get in different moods for different songs. So you like that one the best yesterday, but today you're kind of liking this one over here a little more. So I don't know how that riff
I was like, who inspired you to pick up
category works.
Which one artist sort of inspired you to pick up the guitar in the first place?
Oh God, it was a guy named Dick Dale.
Dick Dale.
King of the surf guitars.
Oh, yeah.
Forget about it, man.
Tell us a little bit more about him for those who don't know Dick Dale.
Dick Dale, he was a surfer. You know, I guess he started out in the 50s, right? And then in the 60s, he actually became king of the surf guitars. You know, with the Pipeline and Miserlou and all that. Those were a couple of his songs, right? Big reverb sound. Really kind of a tough-looking guy, really handsome guy, real guitar hero-looking kind of person, right? And he was our guy. He was the West Coast guy. You know, there were other guys on the East Coast, but man, they don't even have surf over there. You know, there's no such thing as a surfboard on the East Coast. So Dick Dale was our guy, right? And he became my guy.
Fantastic.
And I wanted to be a Dick Dale.
And what was the first record you bought? Was that a Dick Dale record or some other artist?
The very first one, my mother bought it for me, was Jailhouse Rock. For Elvis Presley. I get my little broom in front of the mirror and go at it. You know? But I think probably the first one I bought with my own money, well, I think it was a Dick Dale song.
Yeah. I should check him out on YouTube later on.
Like I think about the album, not just the single.
Have you still got any unfulfilled ambitions?
Tons. Next, no, we've never had a #1 album, or I've never been on a #1 album, so there's one right there. You know, I'm always trying to be a better guitar player than I am. Trying to write a better song, trying to, you know, produce a better album. You want to play your ultimate show, your ultimate live show, where you walk up and go, oh my God, we'll never top that again. All right, let's quit. You know, but as I said before, those things will, you know, it's possibly to get a #1, but the other things, it's never going to happen. You're never going to be, you know, as good as you possibly can as a guitar player. You're never going to play that perfect gig. You're never going to write that perfect song. It just doesn't happen, right? You can kind of come close, but perfection is not going to happen. Is
there any territory in the world, any country in the world where you haven't performed before that you would like to visit?
Yeah, South America. I think we're one of the few bands in the world that have not been to South America. Yeah.
Anywhere like Brazil, Argentina?
Everybody goes, oh, you kill them down there. Right?
That is amazing.
Invite me and I'll go.
Yeah. That does surprise me. Scott's been fantastic talking to you. I could talk to you all day. Black Star Riders are playing the Legends of Rock Festival. I'll just quickly zoom up on the logo up there. You can see it. There's the logo. Scott's pointing to it right now.
Right.
Black Star Riders and all those other great bands, and reasonably priced tickets. I think between £100 and £150, and it's 3 days of rock and roll debauchery. It's great.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Great. Scott, wish you all the best for the next album. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Cheers.
Cheers. See you.